So one story that they left out of Kamala's announcement that she is directly responsible for giving temporary protective services to 100,000 illegal Haitian immigrants. She didn't tell you that a third of that country believes that they made a pact with the devil to get freed from French slavery back when that happened. So what you did is you took 100,000 random illegal immigrants from a country that has a gigantic population of Satanists known for cannibalizing their enemies. I'm sure some of you guys have seen some of those videos. They're great. And then you took 20,000 of the 100,000 that you gave TPS to, and you put them in a small American city that had a total population of 60,000 before you added the 20,000 Haitians. Hey, what could go wrong? Well, we're going to find out today in one of the most shocking stories I've ever covered.
Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it?
Okay, really quick, I need to talk to my audience. So I did a video the other day and I said, any of the videos that I do about this guy are only getting shown to my subscribers. And I showed all these different videos and how the analytics showed us like 98% to my subscribers. I'm like, if you guys could show your audience my video, if you think it's important, I would appreciate that very much. Let me show you something, okay? So this is that video. And I was like, look, maybe you could change it. You could see in the first day, look at that, shown to no new viewers, none, only to subscribers. But then you guys started sharing it with people and look at what happened. You see what happened? It completely spiked. So you guys sharing it, it made an enormous difference. And now it's spiked up. I gained 500 new subscribers, 450 new subscribers, and it's being shown to new people. So thank you guys very much. Really, really genuinely appreciate it. Thank you guys. And now let's all enjoy the implosion of the country together. I'm going to show you a story that I think my eyes almost popped out of my skull when I watched the videos that I saw this morning on this particular topic. This gentleman over here actually may not even be directly involved in this. I'm just putting him up so that we are clear that the parties have switched sides. Okay, if anybody is unclear on this, right, when we were saying like, hey, remember when we voted for Democrats and now we're on the other side? Just so we're just a little bit more evidence of that, right? If you were a Democrat in the early 2000s, okay, well, Dick Cheney has now officially endorsed Kamala Harris. So are you so unable to evaluate, the party that you're supporting to where you don't remember when you were putting up bumper stickers on your car that said Cheney, Satan 2004? Because I remember a lot of those where I came from. Cheney and Satan, like it was that was the running ticket. And he is endorsing the left's candidate because the whole idea of what the Democratic Party is not the same anymore. And this story is one of the most incredible examples of that ever. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go one by one. Each of these stories that's going to tell a tale that will absolutely blow your mind. And if you're a Democrat, I want you to explain to me how you could see this story and still support them. I'm not talking about Dick Cheney. I don't care about that compared to this. You watch this entire video and you put in the comments how you could possibly justify still voting for these people. And if you are on our side already, I would love for you to just try to speculate. And I mean this seriously. I want the comments to be filled with speculation of why they would have done this. Because I can't think of a way that this is something that happened that is not so nefarious and intentionally trying to implode this country that I'm at a loss. I want you guys to speculate with me. Now, speaking of Patriots, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, which is Sheath Underwear, veteran owned, having its 30% off 10-year anniversary sale as we speak. Now, I know the owner of this company personally. He's a stud, and I love supporting his company like he supported my channel. And as such, every month I do a giveaway where if you go on to their site and you buy anything on the site, you use the promo code provided, and you email me a receipt, I will buy one lucky winner a pair of Jordans. Now, I pay for these myself. And you can see here, I actually just bought the Jordans from last month today for our lucky winner Foxy, who I accidentally doxed when I posted this in the community page. I just took it down. I didn't realize I accidentally put her phone number on there, but I promise I won't do that to you if you win. So for this particular one, we're using a different promo code because we are going to use promo code DECADE at checkout, DECADE. That's on sheathunderwear.com. And if you send me a receipt to realjesseonfire@gmail.com, I will enter you for this month Jordan's giveaway, and I have 0 entries thus far. So now we get to the meat of the story, and I am going to restate. You guys tell me what possible reason that you should not hold this administration accountable for this, and then also, why are they doing this, okay? So here we go. Let's just start with this video of Kamala Harris talking about her policy. She's the border czar, guys. She's the border czar. So let's hear how.
That is why, also,
starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection.
Now, before I show you the absolute bucket of blood that is on the hands of anybody who was involved in that decision, when I show you what happened with these Haitian immigrants in this town that 20,000 of them were shipped to, you know, like the secret planes, secret buses for the illegal immigrants. And it's like, where are these guys going? They're going all over the place. And that town is Springfield, Ohio. You guys may have heard of that. You know, The Simpsons, right? 60,000 people lived there before. 80,000 people lived there after 20,000 Haitian illegal immigrants were brought there. And the results are so shocking, you will not believe it. This is the worst story I've ever seen for, like, as an American citizen. Okay. Well, I mean, that might be a little strong, but this is a really, really shockingly bad one. Now, as I was stating at the beginning, remember how I said I wanted to show you Dick Cheney endorsing Kamala Harris to demonstrate that the parties, you know, like if you were a Democrat 20 years ago, okay, and you still support the same party, why? How? Are you capable of acknowledging that the policies you supported before are the exact opposite of what they're doing now? Because if you can't acknowledge that, you are brainwashed. You are not voting based on policies. You're just like on a team and not evaluating anything. And watch this. Let's just hear 1 minute and 24 seconds of Bill Clinton talking about what his border policy is and what the absolute most important thing that he sees in that issue is in 1995.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Okay. So remember that? Hey, you voted for Bill Clinton, right? Those of you who are old enough to have been voting in 95 or 94, whatever. Like, you voted for him, right? Okay. So he's saying exactly what we are saying now. So when you're like, hey, these brainwashed guys switch sides, it's like, no. You switch sides because you don't pay attention. Now, each one of these individual stories about Springfield, Ohio is so crazy that I wasn't really sure what order to do them in because each one is going to have your brain slide out of your ear. But I figure this is probably the most important one, right? Even though the rest of these are, you know, how could this actually be happening? But this one seems pretty bad. 11-year-old Aiden Clark was killed on his way to school in Springfield, Ohio. His killer was a Haitian illegal immigrant. And you guys may recall, what was he doing there? What was he doing in the country again? I can't remember. Who, was it? Oh, that's right. Kamala Harris took direct responsibility for it. Yeah, we did this. 100,000 of them. Here's one. Okay. So obviously this story would be easy that you're like, guys, they need our help. There's 100,000 of them. Of course, there might be like a bad apple in there, but think about what we're saving them from. You hold that thought. If that's where you're at, you hold that thought. And now let's continue to the rest of this. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, we're going to do this story first. So Springfield, Ohio is a small town in Ohio. 4 years ago, they had 60,000 residents. Under Harris Biden, 20,000 Haitian immigrants were shipped to the town. Keep that in mind. Shipped. Okay. They got brought there, put on the buses, sent to Springfield, Ohio. Why would you do that? You know, oh, it's just a poor town. Who cares, right? No one will notice. Now, ducks and pets are disappearing. Okay. Warning to, this is from the Springfield, Ohio criminal, whatever this group is. Okay. Warning to all of our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter's friend had lost her cat. She checked pages, kennels, asked around, etc. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out of her car, looked towards the neighbor's house where the Haitians live and saw her cat hanging from a branch, like how you do to a deer for butchering. And they were carving it up to eat. I've been told they are doing this to dogs. They have been doing it at Snyder Park with the ducks and geese. And as I was told that last bit by rangers and police, please keep a close eye on these animals. Okay? They are killing their pets, okay, and eating them. Here's a picture of a Haitian guy walking around with it's a goose that he killed at the park, just in case you needed some visual evidence of that. But I'd like for you to think about the trauma of seeing your cat. Okay, I never considered myself a cat person my whole life. I was like, dude, I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog guy, dude. And then my family was like, can we please get a cat? Because I was like, I'm not getting, we had dogs for a long time. I'm like, I'm not doing a dog. I love our freedom. We travel all the time. I don't want to have to worry about what a dog's doing. I don't want to clean up after the dog. Like, no. And they were like, okay, well, can we get a cat? I'm like, all right, fine. Cat's easy. So we got a cat. And I learned that I was wrong about being a cat person. Okay. Cats, because when you don't know a cat, they look like, like stuck up little pricks. You're like, a dog will come up and be like, hi, how are you? And you're like, oh man, I love your dog. I really love your dog. Okay, well, a cat, you have to earn that love, okay? They're going to be very skeptical of you at first because they're super cautious and they're like, I don't know you, dude, okay? So when you go in and a cat, is a little bit less, or very unlikely to trust you, that's because cats are naturally suspicious. But when you get your own and then you earn its trust and love, it's the most flattering thing in the world. They take care of themselves. You don't have to do much for them. Cats are amazing. If someone kidnapped my cat, and I saw it hanging from a tree and they ate it, okay? I am not going to finish my thought, actually, okay? I can't even imagine. So if you think that this is something that's not happening, here you go. So this is actually police body cam footage revealing a Haitian woman in Ohio being arrested for allegedly decapitating a woman's cat in front of witnesses, in front of the people whose cat it was.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with him.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
Can you call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up? It's deceased. What did you do?
So as we get into more of these stories, I just want to pose a question. And I ask this, it's more of a rhetorical question. Like it's not a question we actually need to answer because we already know the answer, but I'm just going to pose it anyway for anybody who is still kind of on the fence on whether this is like a good thing or not, right? Because at the end, we're going to then speculate about why they did this, right? But here's a question. So the stories about the those island tribes that are the very last humans on Earth that have not been touched by any kind of technological Western society or society at all, right? Like they're on these remote islands and they are still sticks, bows and arrows. They have like these, they still kind of live like Native Americans did in like the 1300s or whatever, because there's never been any contact with them, right? And then like some people try to go there and try to interact with them and they got speared to death. Someone threw a spear and killed them. So, those people. So hypothetically, would it be racist for you to tell a group of imbeciles that wanted to go grab that tribe and then move them into houses next door to you that you're like, I don't feel comfortable with you bringing those people and then putting them in my neighborhood, okay? Like, I don't know anything about their culture. I can't really communicate with them very well. I know nothing about what they think is standard okay behavior. Is that racist or is that common sense? What would you consider that? Common sense or that's racism? Because I would love to hear how that is a different situation than allowing 100,000 Haitians who live in Haiti that we know do not live like us at all. It's very, very sad how poor that country is. But guess what, dude? When you bring them here, as evidenced by this story, does that improve their situation or does it absolutely nuke the experience of American citizens? Okay? They can go find and kill dogs and cats in Haiti, dude. Right? They can go do that there. What are they doing here? What possible reason could you have to give 100,000 Haitians this status. Like what? Okay. And here's the thing. I got treated by a Haitian doctor when I was in Mexico. You guys may remember I had a staph infection. He was in Haiti and he left Haiti and got certified as a doctor. I'm not saying that there are no, like kind Haitians that are upstanding, whatever. But the thing is, they can go through the legal process of immigrating. Okay. Like why would you give 100,000 illegal immigrants protected status and then stick 20,000 of them in a small town that has 60,000 citizens? What possible reason could you have to do that? Anyway, let's continue to some of these other horrifying stories. So this one's good. I'm just going to let this guy talk. You just listen to this guy's story. He's at the Springfield City Commission meeting.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... They flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset. And y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. Y'all pay them, they can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is.
Listen to this, dude. Okay, listen. These people who are in the city council, I mean this really, they don't have any idea what to do either. I'm being totally serious. I could see a world where I ran for city council in Springfield, Ohio. Now, if someone came to me and they're like, hey, we're going to start bringing Haitian immigrants in, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Okay. If they're involved in these people getting dropped off here, that's a different ballgame. Okay. There's always where there's something like this, there's always corruption. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if you put me, I consider myself a pretty good problem solver. You stick me in this situation, I know enough about city governance to know that, what are we going to do? Seriously, what are you going to do? Okay, this is an unsolvable problem at this point unless you just get them all and get them out, period. They need to go, okay? All the buses and all the resources you use to bring them here, you need to get those back, you need to pick them up, and you need to ship them out, dude. That's the only way that this is solved. They can't stay and solve this problem. What are you going to do? Teach them not to kill pets? 20,000 of them, okay? And maybe you have a process whereby if they can demonstrate over the following 30 days that they have, obtained some kind of real job, and they can demonstrate they are not out killing cats and killing, geese, and there's 20,000 of them. I'm sure there are people who are there trying to do the right thing. And if they have demonstrated that, and they're speaking English, or they have a job, or they're going to school or whatever, then maybe there's a way for, 1,000 of them or so to stay if they're like the dude who treated my staph infection. But absent that, some kind of very simple, very clear way that you have earned the ability to potentially stay. Out of that, ship them all, dude. What are they doing here? This is an experiment that you tried and it's failed. Because otherwise, what are you going to do, dude? There's not enough resources to deal. They were policing it at 60. They had 60,000, and you probably would consider like the police force understaffed. And then you bring 20,000 more people who do not have jobs and don't know anyone there except for other people who have no jobs. Like, how are the police supposed to deal with that?
Like, y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro.
It is.
We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Like, only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? Like, how much money is y'all really getting paid, like, to bring them over here? Like, I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like,
yeah, that's correct. Now, real quick, let me just show you guys something in case you guys are unclear on the geography of this. So you see down where Florida is, okay? See like with the tip of Florida. So if you go a little bit like further down and right around there where Cuba and all that is and the Bahamas and, you'll see that's where Haiti is, okay? So Haiti's right around there. And then if you go ahead and look all the way north at the top of this green spot that is the United States of America, almost up to where the purple is, that's where Ohio is, okay? And so you have to ask yourself, right? How do 20,000 Haitians go from down there to up there? You think there's no organization behind that? Okay? You think that they somehow just all were like, how about Springfield, Ohio? How about Springfield, Ohio? We'll get from all the way down there and we'll all just go to Springfield, Ohio. 20,000 out of 100,000 that she has acknowledged that they were directly responsible for bringing here. Okay? So the question is he right? Who got paid? How does this happen? Okay, you can't just like start busing in 20,000 people from a foreign country that are here illegally to one place that only has 60,000 people and think that no one's going to notice, A, and B, that no one in the city government is going to be involved in this because obviously they would go public otherwise. Okay? So, this is one of these ones that actually, this was actually the first thing that I watched, and it made me so mad that it's one of those things, dude. I don't like weak people getting victimized. And, this is horrifying, this story, okay? This is a 95-pound woman telling her story about her life in Springfield, Ohio, a lower class, poor American who is less than 100 pounds. Her husband is elderly, and this is her experience in Springfield, Ohio, because of whatever we're going to speculate about shortly about why they're doing this. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to a victimized 95-pound woman.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you hear it put like that, right? I know they're given temporary protective services, 20,000. You know what that means? Okay. That means that the city made a deal. The city must have made a deal, right? Because if the citizenry knows that, they were given TPS. Okay, they had 100,000. They probably got 5 towns to take 20,000. They probably paid them a fortune. Okay, but this is not okay. This cannot stand. You cannot hear a story like this. This is inside America. This is inside our borders. This is stuff that actually matters. Okay? A lot of blah, blah, blah about stuff that does not directly impact Americans. This is like, are you actually a patriot or not? Because that right there is a 95-pound woman who's lived in the same house for 45 years, and they are fleeing because they are being overrun as a result, a direct result of this insanity that has been implemented over the last 4 years. Okay? You have it on video who's responsible for this. Okay? Remember who did this?
That is why, also, starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants. For that.
Okay, thanks for taking responsibility there. And let's just go here again. What happened again?
Hey, look at me. I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town.
Okay. So when people talk about this, the current DNC policy with illegal immigrants, and we say, are you serious? You're spending that money on these what about homeless veterans? You know? Oh, do you understand how the Haitians are living in their country? Yeah, I've seen some pretty gnarly videos, actually. And again, I want to be clear. Haitian doctor treated my staff. Very, very helpful gentleman. Gave me the wrong antibiotic, but it's all right. He did a good job. Did a good enough job that he got it under control initially. Okay? I was in Mexico. I was in a jam. But, if I am given the choice between, hey, I have empathy and I want to try to help this group or this group, and one group are veterans who served in the American military and now do not have a job and do not have a place to live, or someone in a very terrible situation outside of America. What do you think is my choice, and who should be everyone's choice? And what they're doing, the DNC, is the exact opposite of that. They are helping them at the expense of Americans that didn't even need help before. I mean, maybe they needed help, but they like, you are hurting Americans for what? Like, what is your purpose, dude? And again, we're going to get to that in a second, because we're also going to look at this. Okay, so check this out. Just as a bonus, in case you guys think, if you think that like this is only happening in Springfield, Ohio, no. So Elon tweeted this out: 153 illegal alien sex offenders arrested in the past year in Baltimore alone. Actual offenses committed far exceeds arrests. Okay, so ICE's Baltimore office announces the arrest of their 153rd illegal alien sex offender this fiscal year. It's a 2X previously deported Honduran national who re-entered the U.S. illegally again and as a getaway, and was convicted of raping a Maryland resident. Okay, I mean, is there any misconception about like which side is like get them out, I mean, we're not talking about, and this is the thing, we're not talking about get Hondurans out. We're saying get the illegal Hondurans out, the criminal Hondurans out, the ones that you don't have any idea who they are, the ones who are on temporary protective whatever in the tens of thousands that you don't have any idea what they're doing. And like, what are you doing? So now, this is where I am going to speculate on what is going on. All right. This is I'm just going to say what I think. Okay. I don't have any idea. I mean, there's no way anyone can know 100% what's going on, but I can tell you this. I watched Yuri Gregorian explain what happens when you want to destroy a Western foreign country and you are a communist country trying to infiltrate and then demoralize, destabilize, and then the worst, right? And how do you destabilize a demoralized population? Okay? Hey, do you think that maybe opening the borders and letting, millions of illegal immigrants into the country and then shipping them all over the place, these different cities, and then just completely destabilizing the cities, overrunning the public services, putting it to where you have grapists running around with this? I mean, like, why else would they do this? What possible reason would they do this? How can you explain this? It's cheaper to ship them out. It's safer to ship them out. Okay? I'm not saying to be heartless towards people who whatever, but the American citizens did not agree to this. No one agreed to this. Everyone is against this. And going on and pretending like the people who are yelling about it are racist is just nothing but nonsensical dishonesty, just like pretending like we're going to tax unrealized gains on the Vardavar. Yeah, right. They just lie. All they do is lie. They tell you that this guy is the scariest part. Oh, he's a threat to democracy. He is going to get us in a thermonuclear war. Oh, is that right? Because I remember when he was president, I don't remember, China openly talking about a hot war with us. I don't remember that. I feel like that's happening now. I don't remember, Ukraine now attacking Russia inside Russia or all of that happening. I don't remember any of that happening. I feel like everything was a lot more stable. It might have seemed more unstable in the media, making it appear that way. And then again, more destabilization by lying about him. So yeah, you guys tell me what you think is